Hello everyone, welcome to the April Virtual Family Saturday. My name is Wang and I'm an education assistant here at the BCMA. We're thrilled that you and your family could join us from home and hopefully we can return to in-person programming very soon. Today, I would like to introduce you to an exhibition, Jona Frank Model Home, that is currently on view on the first floor of the BCMA. I will start off by giving a brief introduction of the artist Jona Frank and the exhibition. Then I'll move on to 3 of the works that are currently on view. Towards the end, I will ask you to join me in doing a small craft activity to incorporate your thoughts into this experience. Please feel free to pause the video to look at the art at any time. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and let's begin. Jona Frank is an American photographer who was born in 1967. This exhibition, Cherry Hill, could be seen as an autobiographical work that reflects upon her own upbringing in the suburban New Jersey town. In the gallery space, the artist is presenting moments from her memory of childhood, including the joy, confusion, and even anxiety in the process of growing up. Yet as the artist asked actors to portray her mother and her maturing self, she took a step back and engaged with the installation, both as an exceptional artist who created this piece of work and as a grown woman who's looking back at her own childhood. The very first object you would encounter in this exhibition is the Diaphone installation called 1972. It is attached to the wall against a gridded green wallpaper with flower decorations on it. I would imagine that most of you have not seen a phone like this around. As all of us now carry a cell phone around, a lot of the homes don't install landlines anymore. There are 2 phones scattered throughout this exhibition, and just like 1972, you could pick up any of them up and listen to the conversation that people were having. It provides us a glimpse into the social circle and how neighborhoods were connected in the suburban area. The phone is a metaphor, but also a physical reminder of how people communicated with each other. To me, these immersive experiences are what made this exhibition truly unique. Not only are there objects that we could touch and interact with, the museum walls are painted to mimic Jona Frank's home. In the room behind, Jona's birthday is taking place with plates and cakes on the table. Presenting her childhood to the audience, the artist also took into consideration a child's perspective by placing a work of hers on the ground to match a child's eye level. The exhibition space becomes a scene that we could literally walk into as if we were truly participating. Thus, seeing these vintage objects and hearing the phone ringing from time to time, it is as if we entered a time machine and traveled back to the artist's home in 1972. The second work I would like to talk about is Mirror, Mirror. I would like to start off by asking you all a question. How is the woman and the girl portrayed differently? What are some visual differences and what feelings do these differences convey? In this photograph, the young Jona Frank and her mother, portrayed by the actor Laura Dern, are depicted holding a cherry pie in a domestic kitchen setting. Both are wearing identical clothing, a red polka dot dress and a blue apron with a pair of white shoes. Yet the white collar design for the mother's dress, their hairstyle, and the size of the pie that they are holding are all different. It is further interesting to note that when the mother is looking directly at the audience, the young Jona Frank's gaze slightly shies away from the camera. By putting forward a visual difference between a woman and a small girl, it reminds me of how I emulated adults when I was a kid. These differences make the photograph visually interesting and gives it a narrative. Now, I would like to draw your attention to the kitchen setting. Are there objects that you recognize from this photograph? Do you see general features that you would usually see in your family's kitchen? Mirror, Mirror is one of the first photographs of the series. To share an interesting behind-the-scenes episode, the little girl who portrays Jona Frank actually outgrown the white pair of Keds she's wearing. Although we could not see it, the back of her shoes were cut off in order for her to put it on. The last work I would like to introduce in today's video is Christmas 1957. To provide some more context, the artist is the youngest and the only girl in her family. The year 1957 is the artist's mother's first Christmas as newlyweds, when she was pregnant with her first child. In this photo, Jona's mother is wearing a red dress sitting on a yellow couch. To the left of her is a gigantic Christmas tree decorated with lights and covered in tinsel. The pictorial frame is fully stacked with wrapped gifts concealing the floor and her mother's foot. It is a visual reminder of America at a time of consumerism and the pursuit over abundance. My question to you is, how does this remind you of your Christmas experience? Does her mother being the only person captured in the photograph make you feel differently? Is it the same from other Christmas photos you've seen? If you were to pick one photograph to represent your Christmas experience, which one would you pick? When explaining this exhibition, Jona Frank said, "Model Home has provided the opportunity to bring my photograph to life through an experiential installation that enables viewers to enter the world I entered in Cherry Hill and hopefully to find some elements of their own childhood within it. Therefore, after a brief introduction of this exhibition, I would like to invite you to engage in a small craft activity with me." Following Jona Frank's own embroidery for this exhibition, I created my own version of my childhood home. My childhood home is painted in blue, and then there's lawn as I painted grass around it, and then there's a puppy in the lower left, if you could see, because I had a puppy when I was a child. I would like to thank you for joining us in the April Virtual Family Saturday. I hope that you can share what you learned from this exhibition with your family. Hope to see you again soon.